Draculas. Winkee. It's the fate of a very small thing. Draculas. Winkee.
Dracula's Winkee.
Episode 6. Death is spelled Carlos de Carlos.
Regret. It was like disappointment you hated in retrospect. The American girl? She wasn't worth it. The morning came too quickly, and Dracula hadn't it all. The king of the vampires was forced to find a cave for shelter until the merciless sun vanished again. His tortured soul was barely soothed by dreams of his lost love Gretchen, her whip, and strawberry Pop-Tarts. Strawberry Pop-Tarts. He wasn't sure which woke him first, the whiff of badger whiz that hit his nostrils, or the scuffing of boots on the dirt mere yards away from his resting place. His eyes quickly focused on the stocky figure stepping into the alcove.
Ah, hola, Diablo. I was wondering, do you know what time it is?
Dracula sat up as he measured the stranger. Dark complexion, black hair, mustache. His hands held something, obviously a weapon under his poncho.
No, I don't.
It's 5:05 de Mayo, bitch.
Dracula barely saw the attack come. He had never seen a human move so fast. A small wooden stake fired from a hidden wrist shooter and embedded it into his shoulder. He flung his cape around to deflect more projectiles, but it did little to block the assassin's follow-up. A heavy blow struck Dracula's forehead, knocking him back to the ground. The assassin stood over him grinning, a baseball bat ready to swing again.
I am Carlos D. Carlos, and I am the greatest vampire hunter of all time.
The Lord of Darkness slowly tucked a foot under him, buying some time.
Yes, if I recall correctly, you come from a long line of hunters. I believe it was your great-grandfather who once attacked me in Spain 100 years ago. Used a cross with a blade that sprayed holy water. His exploits were well documented until I killed him.
Crossspray holy water? You pedazo de oak tree fart! That was Carlos El Carlos, the De Carlos family's long-life rivals. How dare you compare me to them?
Another blow from the wooden bat landed, this time striking Dracula's upraised forearm. He expected the weapon to shatter against his supernatural strength, but instead it hurt like a mofo. Carlos de Carlos gave another swat, almost playful, alongside his head.
Vampiro, you have angered me greatly. You have ordinary me cornflakes. I was ordered to kill you and bring your head back to my associates, but now I believe I will destroy you as slowly and painfully. Confused at how this baseball bat can hurt you, ass punk?
You mean punk-ass punk?
That's what I said, ass punk. This baseball bat was blessed by Pope Pius XI almost 100 years ago, and it's slathered with the steroids in a voodoo ritual by Jose Canseco just 2 weeks ago. Oh yes, this powerful piece of work can even kill you, and I'm going to enjoy each and every swing.
The bat hit full force, and Dracula felt something break inside. If this was truly his end, he would go out as only a Prince of Darkness could, like a mime on bondage night. Carlos de Carlos continued to taunt him as another blow headed his way.
Peanut butter jelly on a baseball bat.
Dracula melted into the shadows.
Where you at?
Dracula moved to the cave ceiling and pressed himself flat. He was too weak to fight man to man, but he sensed a weakness in his foe. He could grab the assassin's mind if he could only concentrate. Carlos de Carlos chuckled as he pulled back on a slingshot.
Look what I have here, my frightened piñata. Not even you can stand el pollo de muerte.
No, not the dreaded chicken of death. Carefully seasoned, cooked, and then abandoned in dumpsters outside sanctioned Mexican restaurants all across the border. El Pollo de Mort was one of humanity's most potent and putrid weapons, outlawed by the Geneva Convention, along with napalm and flamethrowers. The juices alone from this unforgiving chicken meat cause painful bloating, massive gas bubbles, and finally, explosive diarrhea. Absolutely deadly to humans. It could give even a vampire chalupa-dupa. Dracula clamped his lips shut right before the clump of foul hit his face. But his concentration was broken, and it made him drop like Lindsay Lohan in a limbo competition where the grand prize was cock. As he hit the ground, Carlos de Carlos's blessed bat uncorked into his ribs. Dracula knew he must block out the pain to snatch the assassin's mind.
Concentrate, Vlad. Sex. That was always the quickest route. Sexual arousal. Who would Carlos de Carlos obsess about in his deepest fantasies? Who does he crave in the most lewd and orgasmic way?
Another blow hit. He saw white and then the room spun. Concentrate. Carlos de Carlos was Hispanic. Who was the hottest Latino in the world? Was Fergie Hispanic? So freaking gorgeous, but there wasn't time to gamble. Who was that other singer? Sharika? He tried to pull the image from Juan's pop magazines. It wouldn't come together. He couldn't project her into Carlos de Carlos's head. Wait! The one with the booming body that was in Ghost Rider. Eva something! The bat connected with his ribs, sending him crashing to the cave floor. And damn it, right into another soppy patch of badger whiz. Eva Mendes! Yes! Dracula shut his eyes tight and reached out with his powers. Juan had her in a copy of Maxim, naked, nude, and unclothed. He shot it into Carlos de Carlos's mind. Eva meant... Pain erupted like a volcano. No fancy simile there. The pain was too intense, and Dracula had run out of time. He threw a simple command directly into the assassin's brain pan.
I am the sexiest Hispanic alive today.
Carlos de Carlos was gearing up for the final swing, but instead froze in place. His grip loosened, and the bat fell to the ground.
Ay, Dios mío in heaven, what am I doing here? Oh, here you are before me, naked and as breathtaking as in every one of my fantasies. But I'm beating you with a baseball bat. Oh, no, my sweet Spanish flower.
Dracula had him now. Carlos de Carlos dropped to his knees like a politician desperate for a photo op at a puppy kennel. A smile of pure sexual want spread across his face.
My body is yours, Eric Estrada.
What the fuck? Instantly flashed in Dracula's mind, and it appeared in Carlos de Carlos's mind as well. The hypnotic bond was interrupted, but Dracula quickly corrected his mistake. He suppressed his surprise and focused fully on reruns of Chips.
Eric, you were gone and replaced with the juice flashing letters before me. What does WTF mean?
Dracula scrambled to hold on to his spell.
It means want this fajita.
Oh, yes. You are the sexiest Hispanic alive today. I want to be your John to your punch. I am your motorcycle. Oh, Becky, start me.
Very well, Chivato. Let me put my meat in your mouth.
The assassin eagerly opened wide. He felt Eric's warm, juicy man chunk land on his tongue. It was so calaocho. Eric tasted just like he imagined. Just like... Oh, dear God. Carlos de Carlos broke from Dracula's spell too late as he swallowed. But the damage was already done. Traveling towards his stomach was a huge wad of El Pollo de Mort.
Oh, pedos mortal. What have you done to me?
The Prince of Darkness picked up the sacred baseball bat and walked to the cave's exit.
Granting to you what you wished of me, a slow, painful death. My only other wish is that when you explode, The winds carry your stench back to your allies, to let them know death also awaits them if they dare to cross my path as you have. Farewell, world's greatest vampire hunter.
You can't leave me like this. The gas is expanding inside of me. You must help me. You're inhuman. Oh no, the gas has shifted, ignited, and I can't clench my butt cheeks.
Carlos de Carlos saw the vampire disappear into the moonlit night. There was a sound that resembled a freight train whistle, and then an explosion. Carlos de Carlos was everywhere, and the cave smelled like Howard Stern's soul. Dracula limped home, his body beaten and broken, but he knew what was waiting for him. Strawberry Pop-Tarts. Strawberry Pop-Tarts.
Draculas. Winkee.
Next time on Dracula's Winkee.
This episode ran long, so we don't have time to tell you. Brought to you by hot, tasty vaginas. Go ahead, say it. Yummy, yummy, hot, tasty vaginas.